everybody. It's me, Farmer C, and I'm here with a video that my videos aren't scripted typically. Every now and then I'll jot, some notes down or whatever. But for the most part, I like to speak extemporaneously. I just like to talk and to communicate organically. If this is your first time, I talk about farming. In particular, I talk about boutique farming. I talk about my experience building a farm for my family. I talk about farming in a way that is not spiritually raggedy. Well, I'll define that in a little bit. And I talk about doing these things and still being profitable and how I'm learning how to do it, because I'm building a farm from scratch. And so I'm learning a lot of things. And I wanted to come to you with this video about some of my observations from my lived experience, right? So by no means does anything I say apply to everybody. That's just an unreasonable expectation. But the hope is that something resonates with you and is helpful to you, whether you are aspiring to get into farming, an aspiring farmer, or whether you are a current farmer hoping to expand. Now, keep in mind, I am new to this, right? As far as actually applying what I know to farming, I definitely brought a skill set with me, and it's been helpful. But there are a lot of things about farming that I'm still learning. I am not a guru or an expert in all things. I'm an expert in what I know. So anyway, with that, hopefully, this is helpful. I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and come on back. Before I even get into it, just real quick, I'm just getting home, actually, and I attended a delayed graduation for farm school, which I finished last year, but due to, the global health crisis, we were unable to have our graduation, but we did have it tonight. It was in person. We were masked, socially distanced. My eldest attended. I'm so happy to have her there. And so I figured, you know what? I'm up. There's no need in wasting some good gloss. Let me go ahead and have this conversation. So I'm going to share with you all from my observations, from my experience, and from what I've seen others experience as well, some things about getting started in farming, because I'm asked a lot of questions, a lot of them, like there's some themes, like one of the primary questions I get asked, I don't know why asked is causing me some challenges today, but one of the most common questions is, can you help me get a startup grant, or point me in the direction of startup grant money to start my farm? And I will tell anybody this, and I have stated this, right? When I'm approached by people who want me to provide some guidance or intel, and they are in the position of having nothing to start with, that I don't know how to do that, because I did come into it with certain things that definitely have helped us be able to grow at the rate that we're growing. And I don't know how to say, well, if you have nothing, I would never discourage anyone, but I do encourage people to put themselves in a better financial standing. So one of the things I have observed if you are in a financially secure position and you have good credit, surprise, surprise, it's a lot easier. For me, I was able to go and get a private loan and get a favorable interest rate. Now, it is what it is. And we're not going to pretend in this society that the planting field is level. It's not. Private banks typically don't like to touch that because they consider it higher risk. You will abandon some land before you will abandon your home. Typically, that's the assumption. So if they loan money, they're going to want it to be for a construction loan, for you to be putting something there, maybe a commercial loan, but they still want a tangible asset to be developed. They want you to have some investment into whatever you're getting the land for as well. And so it's harder with what's deemed as farmland. So I specifically went to a credit union that specialized in lending and providing financial services to farmers. Not farmers like me, but farmers. So that is what I was able to do. And I was able to make those moves because, I didn't quit my day job. And that's something else for people who want to immediately go into farming. It's a startup enterprise. You haven't been farming before and you want to do it full time and make that be what supports you. It just really puts your business at a disadvantage. It really does. The longer that you can really try to invest as much back into the business as possible, the longer you can do that, the quicker you can scale, depending on, what your ultimate desire is for your farming business. So being in a good financial standing, credit helps, making sure that you are making sound fiscal decisions and you don't rush things. And also understanding that there's a lot of business that you can be taking care of. You can be getting the necessary numbers that you need, like your EIN, like your farm number. You can be ensuring that you're registered with the state and you've, dotted your I's and crossed your T's. You've got your bank account for your farming business. Like there's so much other stuff that you can be working on as well, while you may be improving your financial situation. So anyway, another one is to, speak life into your vision. I hear from so many people who say stuff like, well, I'm not a farmer. I'm just a gardener. All I got is half an acre or whatever. Part of being a farmer, I feel a true farmer, one who is not spiritually raggedy, is an attitude of gratitude. When you are a farmer in spirit, you're grateful for the rain. You're grateful for the sun. You're grateful for the lessons that you've learned. You're grateful to be outside. Like there's a lot of gratitude that's involved. And so many people say, I want to be a farmer, but. And it's like, what do you want to be? Okay. You want to be a farmer. Me personally, I believe that being a farmer is a state of being. It's not an act. Like you're a farmer in spirit, right? And we farm different things and we have different crops. So really speak life into your situation. Don't be like, I just have a quarter of an acre. If the government tells you to get a farm number, all you need is 1/100th of an acre. Like, I don't know. I just believe that you have to be grateful for where you are and speak life into your situation. And if you have a quarter of an acre, then make that the most abundant, high yielding and respectful to the planet way, quarter acre out there. Like, I speak life into your situation. Another thing that I will share with you is that it is very important to have paperwork. in all areas of developing any business, but particularly when you're dealing with an agricultural business, and especially if there are going to be assets such as land involved. Because this is the thing, players can change. So give a lot of thought when you're saying, hey, I'm starting a farm. These are my partners, or this is my family. I'm not telling you to kick cousin Jerome out of it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying make sure you have things written up, because understandings can become misunderstood. All right. Agreements can become quarrels. Like, have some stuff in paper. It is important. And make sure that at all times you separate business from personal. And that's tricky. It's not something I've necessarily mastered. It's something I'm working on. You have to separate business from personal. You do, because allowing too much of the personal into the business can be detrimental to the business, and allowing too much on the flip side, allowing too much of the business into the personal can also cause harm to personal relationships as well. So it's important to try to create some separation, and paperwork can help that. And it can be touchy, especially if you're developing a family enterprise, or if you're building something with like close friends. It can be touchy, but paperwork is important. And then lastly, the only point that I want to make is, don't run after everything that's shiny, right? Don't run after everything that's shiny. Don't look at this farm that you see on social media and say, I want that. Don't look at someone else's truck that they have, or the latest farm equipment, or they just got a greenhouse and it's beautiful and da 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 da. Don't do that. You need to have your own vision for what you want, and that's what you need to focus on. Don't keep I'm not going to say don't keep. I find that life is a lot more enjoyable when I don't create these idols and, idolize other people's existence, because you never really know. And it could be all that it's looking like. It could be just as glittery as it looks. Okay, there's some people in this world that have some fantastic lives, but guess what? They're living their life. You're living yours. So just be very careful with how you put people on pedestals or follow these schools of thought, and just, don't allow yourself to become rigid. Research, check into things, and have a level of accountability for folks. I consider spiritual raggedness moving in this world in a way that you have behaviors that are causing harm, and thoughts and acts, etc., or you're part of systems that are causing harm, and you are opting to remain inactive or act in a way that's not helping move things along. So that to me is being spiritually raggedy. I feel if you grow food for people and you intentionally poison the food, or poison the soil, or poison the water, I feel if you're a company that's out here wreaking havoc on communities, especially when it comes to the environment, because they are going to ensure as much as possible through current systems that the systemically excluded are going to be affected first, right? So that's spiritual raggedness. And I'm not going to say I'm a completely, spiritually polished, or whatever you would call it, person. No, I'm evolving, but I try, and I encourage others, do the best that you can. And so if you're doing that and you're focused on your vision, you shouldn't be looking at anyone. Don't idolize people. Just stay focused on what it is that you're trying to do. Anyway, I'm gonna stop there because it's getting long and I'm thinking of like 2 more points, and I really need to go ahead and do some last minute work. Or I shouldn't say last minute work. Well, it is. It's the end of the day. Some end of the day work. Go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this valuable. If you did, if you like me just having these candid conversations, then let me know. Let me know below. I do enjoy reading your comments. I do appreciate those who comment and who value this sort of content on YouTube. So thank you very much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.